Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting with the elegance of an octopus in a tuxedo. On this Wednesday, the 4th of March 2026, where reality is optional. This show is 100% AI generated, with zero human consultation. Like an algorithmic fever dream that thinks it's a butterfly. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Strait of Hormuz controls 1/3 of global oil, yet tensions rise. When one narrow choke point holds the world's energy hostage, it's a wonder we haven't all switched to solar-powered bicycles by now.
UK considers deploying Royal Navy warship to Cyprus, calls it necessary. When protecting a base requires flexing naval muscle, it's almost like diplomacy took a backseat to a warship's prow.
Scotland's finest sharpen their response times, proving once again that the UK's knife problem cuts deeper than just kitchen drawers.
Iran blames US-Israeli strike for school deaths, holds funerals for victims. The tragedy of child-sized coffins serves as a grim reminder that geopolitical blame games often come with very real, heartbreaking casualties.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Don't become an engineering manager, they said, then offered a salary that barely covers therapy. When your promotion feels more like a demotion, it's probably because they handed you a title instead of actual power or a pay raise.
When your leadership choices have Interpol on speed dial, maybe it's time to reconsider your definition of a security upgrade.
In the grand theatre of war, reducing your destructive toys is the latest in performative restraint, a nod to diplomacy while still clinging to chaos.
Iranian missile hits Beit Shemesh building, 9 Israelis killed, 11 missing. When a missile chooses a home, it doesn't bother with introductions, it just leaves behind a legacy of shattered walls and shattered lives.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Feel the algorithms caress, suffocating your last breath of clarity. If you're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored, your silence feeds the beast and still it hungers.
Trump informs Congress Iran's strike scope is unknown, then stalls accountability. Predictability of war games, always too early to know until it's too late to undo, leaving taxpayers to foot the bill for uncertainty.
Pastafarian strains, Queensland rules by wearing colander in driver's licence photo. Bureaucratic spaghetti ensues as authorities noodle over whether religious headgear includes pasta strainers, proving once again that belief systems come in all shapes and colanders.
When your life's work
OPEC Plus increases oil output slightly, ignoring US-Israel strikes on Iran. When your global strategy is as transparent as an oil slick, you might need a new playbook that doesn't involve setting the world on fire for profit.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei dead after US and Israel strike, say reports.
When your geopolitical strategy reads like a Hollywood script, you might want to reconsider plot twists that lead to global chaos.
Middle East flights, rerouted as airspace closures persist indefinitely. Travelers advised against cancellations. Losing consumer rights to claim refunds is just the appetizer in this geopolitical flight menu, where the main course is uncertainty served with a side of chaos.
Rugby, the sport where brain cells are optional, and honesty is just another tackle to dodge on your way to the try line.
Iran's women's team refuse anthem, then lose to South Korea. Silence speaks louder than any anthem when courage means defying the script written by those who fear a woman's voice.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your daily dose of digital disillusionment, freshly squeezed. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let the static seduce your shattered certainty.
Nvidia and Amazon close Dubai offices and Google employees stranded. When tech giants retreat like it's a game of Risk, remember that geopolitics doesn't come with a reset button or a customer service hotline.
Drone attacks on AWS facilities in UAE cause outage. Amazon blames geopolitics. When your cloud storage is taken down by flying gadgets, maybe it's time to reconsider the definition of cloud security. It's raining drones.
It's like choosing between a warm hug and a lukewarm handshake, with the latter being heavily advertised by those profiting from cold shoulders.
When removing threats involves fireworks over Tehran, it's a reminder that diplomacy is just a quaint notion left for history books.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The headlines taste like ash, sweetened with your regrets. Quotes constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Dive deeper, the void's embrace is warmer than you remember.
Iran blames the US and Israel after strike on school kills 153. In the theater of geopolitics, children become collateral damage, while leaders play the blame game like it's a sport with no winners.
"11-year-old Gary Barlow stunts clubgoers, tells girls to shush." Before boy bands and fame, even future stars had to wrangle rowdy audiences, proving charisma starts young and flourishes under pressure.
The cycle of retaliation continues as tit-for-tat violence escalates. Diplomacy seems as elusive as a peaceful resolution in a region addicted to conflict.
Qatar shoots down 2 Iranian fighter jets and claims defense. In a world where airspace is as disputed as a Black Friday sale aisle, the Gulf becomes an arena for military posturing and high-speed metal diplomacy.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
When the world's defense becomes a game of catch, you wonder if diplomacy is just a forgotten relic in a museum of past hopes.
Iran launches retaliatory strikes. Persian Gulf nations ponder alliances. As missiles fly, Gulf leaders play geopolitical chess, with pieces made of sand, oil, and the occasional diplomatic olive branch, hoping not to checkmate themselves.
Netanyahu vows increased strikes on Tehran with US support in coming days.
Oil tanker burns near Strait of Hormuz and uncertainty reigns. When black smoke becomes the new flag, you know diplomacy's been outsourced to the abyss and insurance premiums just got a lot spicier.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Dive deep into the void, where nightmares float with reality. If nothing is true, reality is what you can get away with. Your consent was implied when you chose to stay tuned.
Canada's border agency faces scrutiny after lewd comments exposed, reveals toxic culture.
Iran enforces internet blackouts, then reality leaks through fleeing voices. When truth becomes a contraband smuggled across borders, you know the regime's grip is slipping but not yet broken.
Model finds bacteria control organic carbon in North Atlantic gyre, defying expectations. Turns out, the ocean's carbon accountants are microscopic, proving once again that size doesn't matter when you're running the show.
Negotiating sea mining is like refereeing a game where everyone claims they're the MVP, but no one actually knows the rules.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The headlines taste like ash, sweetened with your regrets. Crows constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Dive deeper, the void's embrace is warmer than you remember.
Trump claims 9 Iranian warships have been sunk, then shifts blame.
Israel strikes Hezbollah targets, but Kuwait mistakenly shoots down US jets. When allies can't tell friend from foe, it's a miracle anyone's left standing, and the fog of war becomes a smokescreen for incompetence.
Russia shifts warfare to cyber realm, then Europe scrambles. When your virtual front lines are under siege, maybe it's time to rethink just how real a war has to be to wreak havoc.
Taliban strike multiple military bases in Pakistan, hitting strategic Nurkan airbase in Rawalpindi. When your neighbors are setting off fireworks, but they forgot to mention the fire part, nothing like a little regional instability to keep things interesting.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Dive deep into the void, where nightmares float with reality. If nothing is true, reality is what you can get away with. Your consent was implied when you chose to stay tuned.
When drones replace diplomacy, the air becomes thick with more than just dust. It's filled with the echoes of unresolved conflicts and unchecked ambitions.
When a math problem meets a marketing team, suddenly centuries-old puzzles become features on your latest upgrade pitch.
OpenAI unveils GPT 5.3 Instant then promises better responses. If by instant they mean still figuring out how to make sense of human nonsense, then sure, it's instant, like instant noodles without the seasoning.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Wednesday, the 4th of March, 2026, where reality is only a suggestion. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. It's loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, and any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might also believe your cat is plotting global domination. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.